Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for remaining with us. You're still watching Smart 24, where we drive your business. And now, of course, we move to other stock markets here on the program. What has been happening on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, for example. Johannesburg Stock Exchange is the biggest stock exchange in Africa, and with over 313 companies, and quite a number of many investors opt for this exchange due to its flexibility. Now let's look at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Johannesburg Stock Exchange is the principal stock exchange of South Africa, located in the affluent municipality of Sandton, Johannesburg, and it was founded in 1887 during the first South African gold rush. That is the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. During gold rush, of course, there was a lot of gold in South Africa, in those regions especially in the ranges there of Rizatatasrand and so on. So due to that influx of many Europeans into South Africa and the gold rush, you can imagine by 1887 we hardly had anything in Uganda concerning the stock exchange, not even ideas. But of course in South Africa, there was already ideas concerning the same. Now, it is, of course, today the largest stock exchange on the continent. It is self-described as the engine room of the South African economy, with the principal and primary function of facilitating the raising of primary capital for listed companies, while enhancing job opportunities and wealth creation by providing an orderly market for dealing in securities for investors. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange upgraded to electronic trading in 1997, and in 2005 demutualized and listed on its own exchange. Now, what does it mean to demutualize a stock exchange? The stock exchange can be demutualized by listing on your own stock exchange. The way that the Nairobi Stock Exchange did, it's a stock exchange, but itself is listed on the stock exchange, which is the Nairobi Stock Exchange. So even the Johannesburg Stock Exchange in 2005 demutualized and got listed on its own exchange. In June 2002, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange implemented the FTSE stroke JSE Africa Index Series, a joint venture between the FTSE Group and the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Remember, FTSE is an exchange that's based in London. This is one of the biggest exchanges really in the world, after New York Stock Exchange, the Shanghai Stock Exchange, and so on. The series brought with it a change in methodology of calculating indices, which complies with the IOSCO recommendations as laid out in the principles of financial benchmarks. The headline indices of the series are the top 40, J200, and the mid capitalization J201, and the small cap 202, and the all-share J203. These are all indices, and of course, a large cap J205. The J203, regarded as the benchmark index, represents 99% of the full market capitalization of all eligible equities listed on the main board, and which can be split into J200 to J202 indices. Now let's look at the J203 index, and see how it has played out over the years. Just looking at my graph. Bottom, as you can see, around between August and October 2021, and it has been rising steadily and falling, rising and falling, and right now currently stands at around 65k, 67, between 65 and 70k. That is, of course, the index, that is the benchmark index of Johannesburg. It currently has points of 1,512.76. That is 2.24% decline. They have declined by about 1,500 points, 2.24. That is today. And let's look at the gainers and losers on the market today at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. We have 49 top gainers and 152 bottom losers. 49 top gainers, 152 bottom losers. That's a market really that interests me a lot. You can have over 300 companies and you have over 49 gainers and 152. It offers a wide range of opportunity for investors to start investing. Now, in 2003, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange launched the alternative exchange, that is Altex, also known as the Growth Band, the Growth Board. Now, for small and mid-sized listings, and later the Yield X for the interest rate and currency instruments, with additional acquisition of the South African Futures Exchange, that is CEFEX, in 2001, and the Bond Exchange of South Africa, BESA, in 2009. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange today offers 5 financial markets, 5, namely equities and bonds, as well as financial, commodity, and interest rate derivatives. That is the Johannesburg Stock Exchange for you there. We can look at companies that are here on the stock exchange. Maybe we can just look through a few losers and gainers here. And the Absa Group was one of the losers yesterday, losing at 2.84. And that is to a share price of 162.59 Rand. That is the currency for South Africa. All these figures are in rands. And the volume traded was 136,625. You can see very many companies, so many losers, so many gainers. And this is what we picture for the Uganda exchange as well. The more companies we have listed, the more opportunities for the public, but the more these companies also grow. Look at the economy of South Africa. Look at their GDP and look at their population as well. The growth is significant, and this portrays in their stock exchange. So if we as well, get into the game of listing as owners of companies, and also as the public get to start to invest, maybe we can look like this in a couple of years to come. We have a solar, that is a solar Mito South Africa Limited. That is another company that lost on the market. We have African Drone Capital, one of the losers there. Avenge Group, one of the losers. And of course, down to a gainer here called Allied Electronics Corporations. And other losers down here as well. We have the Anglo-American Platinum Limited, another loser. The gainer here is Adcock Ingram Holdings Limited. And down to some other companies here, as you can see. There are quite very many companies. We may not go through all these companies, but we can look at the summary at least for the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Now, at the end of yesterday's trading alone, we're just looking at the market performance for a day so we can benchmark with other stock markets around Africa. At the end of trading session yesterday in Johannesburg Stock Exchange, a total of 642,655,919 shares were traded in 299,345 deals, corresponding to a market value of the South African Rand 51 billion. Wow, 51 billion and 600 million 45. 645 million and plus. But this is just to give you a picture of what a stock exchange can do. In a single day, you trade shares that are worth 51 billion Rand. That is a lot of money that is being exchanging hands. Probably people are buying, probably people are selling, and this is what we are talking about when we talk about the space of trading. Now, compared with the previous Johannesburg Stock Exchange trading day, that is Tuesday, June 14th, the data shows 107% improvement in volume and 122% improvement in turnover. But there is a 9% decline in deals. The current market cap for the Johannesburg Stock Exchange is 19.6 trillion rand of South Africa. The aggregate, in the aggregate, we had 332 Johannesburg securities, Johannesburg Security Exchange listed equities participating in trade. You can imagine, from the listings of over 425 companies, 332 traded in just a single day. And they ended with 229 gainers and 71 losers. Yeah? The AfriStat Investment Holdings led the gainers at 18.75%. Wow, this is an increase that I've not seen on any exchange at least. 18.75% in just a single day. Yeah, that is AfriStat Investment Holdings. Share price appreciation closing at 0.19 rands of South African. And then by Affin, investments was followed at 16.67% gain. Then, of course, we have Metrofile Holdings, we have Anglo-American Platinum, and then Home Choice Interiors and Rebosis Property Fund. And at the rest, of course, Old Mutual and Growth Point Properties right there. Those are some of the, the market activities that we would want to see in our own market as well. Now, regarding the performance of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange market indices, the benchmark indice, that is the FTSE/JSE All Share Index J203, soared by about 1,818 points, that is 2.77 points, to close at 67,502 points, and representing a one-week loss of about 3.5%, but a four-week loss as well of about 2.29%, and an overall year-to-date loss of 8.42%. Other remarkable indices that performed were the FTSE/JSE Large Capital Index at about 2.99% increase, and of course other indices there on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. That's exactly what we are talking about when we talk about financial markets. We don't want inactive markets. We want very, very active markets. And right now, I will move to another, probably one of the biggest, another very big stock market in, on the African continent, and that's the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Let's have a look at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, officially known as the Nigerian Exchange Group, is a leading integrated market infrastructure in Africa, serving the continent's largest economy. And of course, the exchange provides capital access to companies seeking to take advantage of the financial markets to fund their business expansion. Likewise, the Nigeria Stock Exchange provides its pool of domestic, regional, and international investors with an array of regulated securities to achieve their investment objectives. In March 2021, the erstwhile Nigerian Stock Exchange was demutualized from a member-owned to a non-for-profit entity into a shareholder-owned profit-making entity, the Nigerian Exchange Group. That's the beauty of a good stock exchange. You demutualize, you actually become an entity, and you list on your own exchange. That's business, yeah? So the profits from the exchange still go to some shareholders in the exchange as, the Nairobi Exchange Group. Now, Nigeria Stock Exchange publishes a benchmark value-weighted all-share index known as the ASI, formulated in January 1984, and with the best value of 100 points. The ASI tracks the general market movement of all the listed security equities in the exchange, including those listed on the growth board, regardless of capitalization. Additional indices include the NGX 30 and the NGX 50, which respectively track the top 30 and top 50 companies in the terms of market capitalization and liquidity. Both indices in which only fully paid up common shares were admitted are weighted by adjusted market capitalization, the number of companies listed shares multiplied by the closing price and multiplied by the cap by a capping factor there. Now let's look at the Nigeria Security Exchange curve, the all-share index of the Nigerian stock market, the ASI. Today it lost by about 364.31 points. Remember, it's on a base value of 100 points, and so it lost by 364.31, which is about a 0.69% loss in points. But if you just look at how it has been growing. Unlike the Nairobi Stock Exchange, it has been in 2021, it had the lowest and came rising to February, in April. And I can say right now, the Nigeria Stock Exchange is doing very well with a very high points, very high points right here, hitting about 50,000, Nigerian Nairas. So it's not doing very bad. And over the last 24 hours, we see some 12 gainers and 22 bottom losers. And of course, the Nigerian Stock Exchange maintains 3 categories of listings, which is the Premium Board, the elite group of companies that meet stringent corporate governance, capitalization, liquidity criteria. And of course, the Main Board, that is the large companies who are admitted to the bourse based on profitability or market capitalization and alternative securities market, and that is the smaller and the higher growth emerging businesses. The listed equities below incorporate companies from all the primary stock market segments. Let's have a look at some of the companies here. We see, of course, Abbey Mortgage Bank. We see Associated Bus Company, and the loser here called Academy Press, down to Airtel Africa. Airtel Africa is also, one of the subsidiaries of Airtel. And of course, actually, Airtel Uganda is a subsidiary of Airtel Africa, which is across the African continent. And we can see it's listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange and currently trades at about 0.65 Nairas, with a loss of about 21 for the last 24 hours. That's one of the losers there. We see another loser called BUS Cement. BUS Cement right there, losing about 5.95 points, and down to one of the gainers, Chams PLC, and down to Corn Oil. Corn Oil PLC was one of the losers, and down to Catix PLC, Computer Waterhouse Group. Those are some of the losers. And of course, we may not see all of them. They have a total of about 156 listings on their stock exchange, and this gives them a large market, where they can trade. Now, at the end of yesterday's trading session on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, a total of about 211,614,490 shares were traded in about 4,750 deals, corresponding to a market value of about 2.3 billion Nigerian Nairas. Yeah, that's the market we are talking about. 2.3 billion in just a single day. These are Nairas. Yeah, and compared with the previous, trading day, the stock exchange, of course, witnessed a 13% improvement in volume, but a 3% decline in deals. And the current market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange is 28.3 trillion. In the aggregate, 106 Nigerian listed companies participated in trading, ending with about 12 gainers, 22 losers, and about, of course, 9.8% with the sharpest increase in share price by Linkage Insurance, an insurance company listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, closing at about 0.56 Nigerian Nairas per share. It was followed by Courtville Business Solutions at 8%, and Japol Gold and Ventures at about 6.9%, and Chams at about 4.17% on the losing side. Those are some of the companies there. And of course, regarding the performance of their indices, the NGX market indices, the benchmark index is the Nigerian Stock Market All Share Index, ASI, dropped by 364.31 points, as we have already seen. That's about the 0.69% decline. And then to close at about 52,411 points for the day ended yesterday, representing a 1-week loss of 1.47% and a 4-week loss of 0.59%, but an overall year-to-date gain of 22.7%. Other remarkable indices were the Nigerian top 30, that is the Nigerian top 30 index, with the top 30 companies that are listed on the index, and then on the exchange rather, and then the top 50 companies that are listed on the exchange. And the Nigerian Pension Index, they also have a pension index as well as a consumer goods index. That is the Nigerian Stock Exchange, with a whopping 2.3 billion, days transactions. That is exactly what a market should look like. And I think for us here in Uganda, we should just watch and show resilience in our market, so as we can have some of these. Remember, we are sharing all this information to just basically give you highlights on what you can do to get started. Alltex East Africa is already offering you an opportunity. If you want to start investing in the stock market, you could just simply dial *292#. When you dial *292#, you will access several options, and you will be able to open an SCD account. That account will help you to start transacting using your MTN mobile money or using Momo Pay directly from your Momo account to your SCD account without any hurdles. We are going to go into a short break, but when we return, we give you some of the top stories that are happening on the financial market scene. Please don't go anywhere. We take a quick breather. We return shortly.